Right, today we're doing another kitchen basics video and we're going to tackle mashed potatoes. You might be thinking, Adam, you just like peel, dice up potatoes, boil them up, mash them and it's done. It's not true. And if you're doing that, your mash ain't going to be great, I don't think. So if your mash sucks balls, this is going to be for you. And there's one piece of equipment that's going to save your life. It's going to give you the best, the smoothest mashed potato you've ever had in your life every single time. And I'm going to show you what that is. But the first trick to getting lovely, buttery, smooth mashed potato, it starts with the potato, obviously. Come on. Spuds. Now there are lots of different varieties out there, but for me, your bog standard, simple Maris Piper potato makes the best mashed potato. It's a good all-round potato, it's just got a nice flavour, and it just makes the best mash, in my opinion. I mean, you could use other varieties, you could use like King Edward, maybe Desiree, something like that. But the sort of potato you want to avoid are kind of like your salad potatoes, like your new potatoes, like the Charlotte, because they're not going to make good mashed potato. Now a little tip for you as well, like portion wise, you might be thinking, how many potatoes do I need to feed like my family, or if it's just one of you, two of you, however many it is. Well, the simple method I use is get the potatoes out of the bag, because they all come in different sizes, shapes and whatnot. And think about who you're feeding, right? If you're just a family of four, like mum, dad, two kids, think about what they're going to eat. So I don't know, mum might eat that much, dad might eat say that much, and then the kids, that might be enough for them. Add an extra one in for like good measure. So you think mum, dad, two kids. All right, just kind of use your eye. And then all we need to do with them is peel them and just give them a quick wash, and then we're going to cut them into chunks. Now you might be thinking, well, if I just cut them up into really small pieces, it's going to cook quicker. Don't do that. Yes, they will cook quicker, but the potatoes are going to become waterlogged. So you're going to end up with like insipid, waterlogged mash, which is no good for anyone. But also they can be too big, because if they're too big, then the outside will cook too quickly and the inside will be raw. So they've got to be just the right size. There's no like science or mathematics to it. Just, I'll show you what kind of size you're looking for, because they're all like different sizes. So something like that, we're just going to cut that in half. And then just plop them into a pan of cold water. Okay, once you've added all your potatoes, we're going to get that onto a hob and add some salt. Just regular kind of table salt is good for this step. Get the hob onto its highest setting, pop a lid on and bring that to the boil. See you in a minute. Now once they're kind of boiling like that, we're just going to turn the heat down to a simmer and just simmer those gently for about 15-20 minutes. Best way to test them is stick a knife in it. If the knife goes through nice and soft, you know they're cooked. If it's still hard inside, cook them a bit longer. Then I'm going to drain these through a colander. Now remember when I said at the beginning that there was a piece of equipment that's going to save your life and give you the smoothest mash you've ever had. It's this thing here. It's called a potato ricer. And it's basically just like a giant garlic crusher. That's all it is. But it gives you the smoothest mash ever, right? It's how it works. You get a potato, pop it in there, squish it, and all these like noodly things come out. And it's really, really simple to operate. Just open it up, look, get 1 or 2 spuds in there at a time. There we go. And just press it through. Look at that. And once you've passed it through, you're left with a pile of like, well, I don't know, potato worms. It's dry, fluffy. That's going to be the base for our perfect mashed potato. But we need to put some moisture back into her. And our form of moisture is going to be butter. Now, if you're trying to, you know, watch your weight and stuff and thinking of like using olive oil instead, don't. Okay, have something else, because I can tell you now that mashed potato made with olive oil tastes like pure sadness. It's got to be loads of butter, and we use an unsalted butter so that we can control the salt. We can add some at the end if we need it, which I suspect we will. Now, how much butter? Well, look, this isn't like the faint-hearted. We're going in with like half a pack here for this amount, but just use enough and taste it and, you know, adjust as you go. But it definitely needs like half a pack of butter. It's a lot, I know. And I've got my hob on its lowest setting, okay, just to kind of keep it warm as we make the mash. So we don't want it to go cold. So I'm going to mix that butter through. Now the other thing I'm going to add is some white pepper. Don't use black pepper in mashed potato. Well, you can if you want, it's up to you, and it's your dinner. But white pepper works really well with potatoes, especially mashed potato. I'm going to go with like half a teaspoon to start with, and then just mix that through. And again, taste as you go. We are getting there, but it needs salt. Definitely needs some salt. Good pinch of that. Now there's one final thing we need to do to get this right, because at the minute it's quite, what's the word? claggy, a bit too heavy, a bit dense. It needs to soften up a little bit. So we're going to add a touch of milk. Again, just go with a little bit to start with. And again, mix that through. And it will just like loosen it a bit. Make it silkier. See how the texture's changed? It's gone sort of smoother and creamier. You only need a little bit of milk. You don't need to pour loads in. And there's your mashed potato. It's as easy as that. You can't really see it on there, can you? This is the problem with like filming white food. It doesn't like come off well on camera. Now I did try to do something to kind of demonstrate how smooth the mash is. So I thought of like, you know, if I spread it across like a slate and then smear it out, you'll be able to see. It didn't really work out that well, so you just have to kind of trust me, but it is good. So there we are, that's another kitchen basics recipe. I think that was like episode 3, isn't it? And the reason for these videos is simple, right? I want to teach you how to do the basics, the fundamentals in the kitchen that are gonna elevate your cooking knowledge. I don't fucking know, just teaching you how to cook simple stuff. So if you've got any other suggestions of kitchen basic stuff you want me to teach you, leave it in the comments below. But I'm gonna bugger off now, so see your gorgeous faces next time. Ta-ra for now, like, share, subscribe, thanks.